Hello again. In this second of the introductory videos, I wanted us to have a chance to think about some things related to the class in particular. After having introduced myself a little bit last time, wanted to say a couple of things about the class in terms of sort of some broad overview things, and then some things about some of the policies in the class and some of the assignments that I want you to begin going ahead and thinking about up front as we begin the semester together. One of the things that this class makes me think about is family reunions. I don't know if family reunions were big for you. In my growing up days, I remember every summer there was a side of my mom's family that they got together every summer. The good things about family reunions, at least my family reunions, were food. The dessert table in particular sort of stood out to me all the time. It was always interesting as a young person, as a high school student, to be at these events, and I remember thinking at times, I'm related to these people. And there were some strange characters in my mom's side of the family. There were several folks who were mathematicians by trade, and I remember seeing them sitting around the table working mathematical formulas together at family reunions. We had musicians who would get on the piano. I had a great uncle who played the saw, who would get out his little hammers and his great big long saw and play songs and bend the saw to make tunes. It was a peculiar time when you're 13, 14, 15 years old. It's only been later in my life that I've realized how valuable some of those gatherings were. And it's no longer I'm related to them, but more of a sense of I'm related to them. A different sort of sense of recognition and awareness that probably at some level helps me understand who I am and who my parents are and how they work and operate and think about the world and all those sorts of things. This class reminds me of a family reunion of sorts, in that we will gather together this semester with all sorts of people who have gone before us in the faith. Some who have done great things, some who maybe have done some things that we might be a little more concerned about. But we need to meet them because they are a part of our family tree, and they're important. It's important for us to get to know them and to see where they've come from, to see how they've struggled, to see how they have succeeded, so that we can learn from them. Now, Hebrews chapter 11 in the New Testament talks about this roll call of faith of individuals at the time of the writing of the book of Hebrews who had gone before the believers at that time, and it's this amazing list of people of faith and what they've done and what they've accomplished. And really, that list has been added to over the last 2,000 years. From the time of the New Testament to the present day, there have been folks who have stood for their faith, who have walked with Jesus, who have lived well, who have suffered, who perhaps have died for their faith. And we need to get to know them so that we can better understand who we are and where we've come from and how the church has reached the point that it is today. So I'm excited about our journey into the family tree. Ancestry.com is not required for this class, but we will be doing our own sort of ancestral digging around this semester that I'm very excited about. In terms of some of the structure of the class, a couple of things maybe that you've noticed as you've looked at the class or had an opportunity to look at the syllabus already, which is already posted for you on Blackboard. One thing to keep in mind is that Mondays throughout the semester will be our big due date day. Now, obviously, you can work in advance and turn in assignments before Monday if you so desire, and that's encouraged. But the deadline for submissions of assignments for any given week will be Monday at 11 p.m. will be the cutoff, and then things turned in after that point will be considered late and will be receiving a grade penalty. But if you have a quiz in a given week and a discussion board and maybe some other reflection paper or writing assignment, all of those need to be done before 11 p.m. on Monday. So just be aware and schedule your time. I know that all of you are working adults. Many of you have families. There's lots of things to juggle, and so I want you to be able to juggle those well on top of the other academic responsibilities that you have. A second thing that I wanted to go ahead and forewarn you about, or give you an opportunity to be thinking about, is that the research assignment that you will do for this class is unique in some ways. It will be an autobiographical. No, let me say that again. It will be a biographical paper. You will be assigned one of the major figures through the course of the history that we're looking at. And the paper that you write will be written in first person, as if you were writing from that person's standpoint about their life and what they've done and what they've accomplished. One of the things that you will do in conjunction with that is that you will submit a video of yourself being that person and telling us what you learned in your paper. Even reading your paper will be acceptable. And so as you think about that, you may want to begin thinking about how we can do a video presentation. Does your computer have the capabilities of recording yourself? I know the laptop that I'm using right now has a built-in camera right above the screen that I'm looking at. It's got everything that I need. I'm using a Windows movie player thing to record this video, and there are other ways that you can do that. But it might be good to go ahead and begin to experiment and to explore. It may be that you need to find a friend who's got that capabilities and borrow their laptop for this project. Just want you to be aware of that. Every week this semester as well, there will be discussion board posts where I will present you a prompt, sort of like I did in terms of the getting to know you prompt in this getting started section. But in each of the areas that we cover this semester, there will be a discussion board prompt where you will be asked to reflect, to share your thoughts and ideas, and then to respond to the posts of two of your classmates. As a reminder, hey Cooper, no barking. My apologies. Outside with the dog. For the discussion board posts, we may not all agree, but disagreeing in a way that is respectful of one another is really important. And so let me encourage you to be thinking about that, even if people share ideas that you might think are a little bit off the wall. That's okay, and we can live with that. And then lastly, for now, let me remind you of the importance of checking regularly into Blackboard and into the class. One of the main ways that I'll be communicating with you is through the announcement tab on Blackboard, so that if there are special things that you need to know about, special assignments, those sorts of things, reminders, I will be posting those. And so I would really encourage you at least a couple of times a week to be checking into Blackboard, to be gradually progressing through the reading assignments and the other assignments that you will have. Well, I'll report back in another time if there is other information that I can think of that I've omitted. Pretty soon I will have Area 1 up and available for you to begin working through. There's a couple of final little kinks that I'm working through today, and I will get that up and going for you. Look forward to our interaction through the semester together.